Roll Tide, everybody, and welcome to the Bama Tailgate Show. We are less than a week away from Alabama and Florida State. So we're going to talk a little bit about what the keys to Alabama's season are, in my opinion, going into this first game. Also, Bama's running back recruit, one of their top prospects, suspended by his high school team. We're going to let you know why and what that means and more. So glad to be here with you, brought to you by Pearl River Resort. Right over there in Philadelphia, Mississippi. Hung out with Jake Coker there last week. The Azaleas, the Oaks, two amazing golf courses at Dancing Rabbit. We're going to talk about Alabama football on this Sunday, and it's great to see all you guys. And I know everybody, after watching those awful Week 0 games, is going, hey, man, next week, it's for real. What do you say, everybody? Mick Gillespie, thank you for being here on the channel and hanging out as we do to talk a little bit of Bama football. We are going to be live Friday for the Coker Bowl. Bowden's in Tallahassee, 1-3. We're going to record the tailgate show, so make sure that you guys come by and hang out, meet us there, because we're going to be there. So if you're going to the game and you get to Tallahassee on Friday, meet us at Bowden's. Hang out with us. All right, let's get into this show. Let's get the show started, and let me kind of start by saying that I can't wait for football. I know you can't either. And honestly, it's hard to believe that we're here. It's Florida State week, right? And that we're going to be, next Sunday right now, we're going to be here talking about football, and it's going to be game one in the past tense, which is crazy. I think that this matchup with Florida State is going to be tough. I know they have 4, transfer offensive linemen. I know that they have a transfer quarterback. They've got a new offensive coordinator, the Gus Malzahn. They've got talent. Will they be able to put it together against Alabama in time to win that opener? I don't know. But what I will say is that take these guys seriously. The spread right now is 13.5. Bama's going to have to do some things in this game. And without Jam Miller, that kind of puts a lot of pressure on the guys behind him to be able to block. I'm not worried about them running the football. I'm worried about them blocking for Ty Simpson in those packages where he's going to have to throw the football. So we'll see. I'm sure that's going to dictate who plays the most in that running back spot, and we'll be covering that all week. Now, as I talk about the keys to Alabama getting back to the college football playoff, I want to tell you guys about Mick Nation. That's our AveD site. This is all the stuff that I'm incorporated in. We put it all in one place. We're giving away 2 sets of tickets to see Bama versus Wisconsin. And we want you to be there when we do that. And the way that you do it is hit that QR code, sign up. And we have games and interactive stuff. We're going to give away tailgate show gear. Let me fix my collar. Yeah, like gear like this, maybe some Hawaiians, maybe some hats, maybe some T-shirts, all that stuff. But go there, play the games. It's fun. What do you think the score is going to be? Alabama and Florida State. They're going to cover the spread. It's just little free stuff, and you win. And it's kind of a way for all of us to stay together. All right, keys to Bama making the college football playoff. What are the keys to this? Let's start with this right now. Ty Simpson running the show. Quarterback play really matters for Alabama. When the Tide was good last year, Jalen Milroe was good. When the Tide stunk, it always seemed to coincide with him, right? Him not doing the things that we needed a quarterback to do, right? Milroe's skill set's a lot different than Ty Simpson's skill set. Ty Simpson's going to throw the ball, wing it around, right? He's not going to be a total running quarterback. I think he's going to surprise you with his ability to run, but he's not Jalen Milroe, who was maybe Bama's best running back last year, is arguably, right? Ty Simpson's got to command the offense. That's, I think, number one. Number two is don't turn the ball over. And that's why he got the job. How many times did you hear Ryan Grubb or Kalen DeBoer say, hey, he's not giving the ball to the other side? And you wonder sometimes, is that because of the defense not being good, or is that because Ty Simpson's being smart with the football? And then the other thing is, how's he going to handle the pressure? How's he going to handle going to Tallahassee? It's loud in there. They're going to be enthusiastic. This is a huge matchup for them. They beat Alabama. That sets their whole season up. And before they were a 2-win team, they went undefeated in the regular season. So what I think you're going to get something in between those two teams. And for Alabama, they've got to be able to handle the pressure. It starts with Ty Simpson, just being poised through all of the stuff that's going on in that environment. That's the first thing. Second thing to me for this team getting back to the college football playoff is stop the run, defensive line play. We can talk about pressuring the quarterback, and I think this is part of it, right? But before you even get there, it's limiting the run. When Nick Saban was at Alabama, the run was eliminated. We didn't have a run. The other teams never ran on Alabama. You can remember the one time that they were playing the triple option attack of Georgia Southern, and they ran on Alabama. Bama still won the game, but I mean, they couldn't stop the run that game. They weren't disciplined or whatever. One time last year, Oklahoma basically just lined everybody up in the backfield and ran the ball. We couldn't stop it. Now, I know that Deontay Lawson being out for that game, getting hurt, kind of caused some of that. Vanderbilt ran pretty easily on Alabama. Tennessee ran on Alabama late. Alabama's got to stop the run. That, to me, is the most important thing. And I'm not putting it on one guy. I mean, that is a group effort. So if that swarm defense, Kane Womack, better stop the run. And if they don't, then I'm telling you right now, be worried. Now, the second thing is, and kind of along the same lines, is pressure the quarterback. This is where I feel like guys like LT Overton, Tim Keenan, all those dudes are so important. What's Keeley going to look like this year? This is the year that he kind of breaks out. As somebody that we're not even talking about going to be a contributor here. It doesn't matter. What the bottom line is, Bama did a good job of this last year. You force quarterbacks to be uncomfortable. It doesn't necessarily mean that you got to sack the guy. It just means that you got to move him around in the pocket, keep him off balance. Tommy Castellanos has talked a lot of smack. Wouldn't it be great if Alabama was just in his face early and often during this contest? And I think that would make a huge difference for Alabama in this game. Get after him. Get after him. And I think that not just this game, but the season as a whole, right? If Alabama's defensive line is pressuring the quarterback, good things are going to happen for the secondary. And that kind of leads me to the next thing, right? They've got to live up to the hype. Off wide receiver. We're expecting big things out of the wide receivers. So hold that, but also the defensive backs, the cornerbacks, the safeties. We look at these two groups and we're like, hey, we feel great about what we have there. Whether it's Keon Sabb and Bray Hubbard, whether it's Damani Jackson, Dijon Lee, who might not start, but he's going to play a lot, right? Calhoun, Cam Calhoun, the transfer from Utah. We expect him to make a difference. All of these guys, Zabion Brown. We just think that this group, the defensive back group, is going to be ball hawking, right? We expect a lot of turnovers from these guys. That starts with putting pressure on the quarterback. You got to make quick decisions and then you attack. But I put it in there with the wide receiver group because on the other side of the ball, we're expecting, we don't know what the running back's going to look like now that Jam Miller's out. I mean, we know who's going to play. We just don't know what it's going to look like. We expect that Ty Simpson's going to command the offense. He's not going to turn the ball over, right? He's going to be ready to go. But we think that the wide receiver room is stacked. That's our expectation. We think Ryan Williams is going to be a Heisman Trophy contender, that Jeremy Bernard is going to be someone that is a possession guy that makes a lot of plays. We think Jalen Hale is going to take the top off of the defense. Isaiah Horton is going to continue what he did at Miami and be a real playmaker for Alabama. And then when you get past those four guys, you're like, hey, what about Rico Scott? Man, this guy, we've been expecting this guy's doing stuff in practice. We want to see him. Latsier Brooks, the freshman. We think Latsier Brooks could be a difference maker, right? Cole Adams. Hey, man, I got great hands. Give me a chance to catch the ball. He did that last year, right? We expect that this wide receiver group's going to be great. They have to be. I think that they have to be like we used to have it at Alabama. No drops. Like how many games did we go through there when, you just went years where guys just didn't drop the ball? That's part of it, right? We're expecting that. Guys got to get open. Can't be covered all the time. We think that this wide receiver room is elite. They've got to be elite. But this, to me, is the most important thing on this Alabama season. We have continued to come into the regular season and say that we expect the offensive line to dominate. Last year, you're looking at the offensive line. Hey, we got Booker. We've got Brailsford. We got, this, that, and this, right? And then, we think, Caden Proctor, he's going to be like Kobe Bryant and then the season starts and the offensive line just isn't there. This is the juice squad. Coach Cap, great recruiter, bringing in all these guys, Michael Carroll and Jackson Lloyd. And you look at this offensive line and you look at the group and you're like, hey, you know what? Gino Vandermark can play 3 different positions. We're going to get him in there, right? Wilkin Formby. I know it, Wilkin Formby. Like inconsistent last year, he's ready to step up. Jaden Roberts, got to get him healthy. But when you put Roberts and you put him in there with Brailsford and you look at this offensive line, that's where the talent is, right? With the NFL scouts, that's where the talent is. Or is it? These guys got to dominate. That's what I'm talking about with this team. If we look back and they're not getting the job done, Alabama as a whole, it's going to come back to the offensive line. If Alabama's offensive line dominates, it doesn't matter who runs the ball. These guys all have talent. We're going to be fine. That's why the offensive line, to me, is the most important position that Alabama has. And that's the most important thing that when you look at what will get them back to the college football playoff, give me a dominant offensive line, and I'll give you a team that'll play for the college football. It would be in the college football playoff and maybe win a national championship. I mentioned before that Jake Coker and I will be in Tallahassee on Friday at Bowden's, which is a restaurant right there by the football stadium from 1 to 3. If you guys are around, come by and see us. Yell Roll Tide. Let's take this place over. And we're also brought to you by Pearl River Resort, Philadelphia, Mississippi. The sports book's wide open right now, and you can go in there and bet on Bama. Bet you think Bama's going to win it all, go in there and do it. 20 big screen TVs, full-size bar. You got the table. You got the kiosk. You even got the individual kiosk. All of that stuff at Pearl River. Go check it out. It's an hour and a half from Tuscaloosa, 2 and change from Birmingham. And Jake Coker is now the spokesman. It's just pretty funny. You're going to see him on commercials coming up real soon. Not yet, but the ready to roll commercials are about ready to roll. They're not ready yet, but they're coming. All right, final thing on today's show, and it is great to talk to you guys. This is the calm before the storm, right? Which is crazy to think about. But top recruit, one of Bama's top recruits, one of those guys that I thought was so important for Alabama to get, right? 5-star running back or 4-star, depending on what service you look at. But anyway, EJ Crowell suspended for the opener that Jackson played against Saraland. That stinks because you're talking about 2 mega powers. But the reason he was suspended was due to a self-reported violation of the Alabama High School Athletic Association, the amateur bylaws. Apparently, it involved a 2024 Mercedes-Benz GLE that he got from a family friend. It's a 1-game suspension. He avoided more severe penalties. The right now I'm going to take up for the kid for a second. Right now, the rules between amateur and pro athletics have been they've just been blurred to a spot where I don't even know what is what anymore. And it used to be this would have clearly been a violation. Now I just don't know. I think that we need to rewrite all of the laws. I know that they're trying to get a lot of this stuff out of amateur sports. he got a hero's welcome. It's a shame that he didn't get to play in the game, but this is what's been going on for a long time. It's just trickled down into the high school game. So anyway, it doesn't change my opinion on him one bit. I'm glad he picked Alabama, unlike Tank Jones. And I can't wait to see what he does as a member of Alabama football, right? So anyway, just wanted to report on that to you guys and remind you, there it is again. There's our QR code. Join Mick Nation. That's at our Avenue D Web3 location. We're going to give away hats. We're going to give away maybe some of these. If you guys like these, get in the comment section. Say, hey, I want one of those. And, we'll throw those in as well. But sign up. It's easy to sign up. It's free. Basically, email address. They send you a code. Boom, you get in there. And then pick what you think the Alabama-Florida State score is going to look like. Put down total points of the score for Bama versus the Louisiana Monroe game. We're also giving away tickets to Bama against Wisconsin. Thank you to my man Wes on that one. And Roll Tide. We're going to be covering the game. Shank and I will be talking to you this week. We'll have Coker on Friday. All of that right here on the Bama Tailgate Show. So Roll Tide, everybody. Thank you for hanging. And again, we appreciate Pearl River for being part of what we do on a daily basis.